All right, so I checked it. Everything's good to go. So yeah, um, I've gained some new followers recently. I had a TikTok go viral, which is cool. It has close to 31 million views on it, which is really freaking neat. Ton of comments and everything, but it's my followers are following me for my Jeep content. So I drive a Jeep. She's pink. She's beautiful. I love her, and she's paid off. Which is what allowed me to be able to get this. So, switching it up. So, I hope the 20 some odd thousand of y'all stick around and find myself, same person, just different vehicle, entertaining. I still, with the Jeep community, you duck Jeeps, which is super cool. I plan on still doing that, carrying some ducks with me and ducking Jeeps when I see them, just because that's who I am and it's fun. I love ducking Jeeps, and I love when I drive my Jeep. I do love getting ducked. So yeah, but this is me now. So what brought this on? Because I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Ooh, Jen's in crisis. What the hell happened?" I get that. I understand that you guys are probably thinking like, "What happened to Jen?" So back in 2021, I petitioned for a divorce. I was like, God, I think I was married, 18, 19 years at that point. I was like, done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm unhappy. Not the person. We just aren't compatible. This isn't good. I'm not happy and I'm not in a good place. So, petitioned for divorce and started the process of separating from that person. And yeah, I got married super young, super, super young, to a high school sweetheart, which I know for people that works out and you guys can grow together, learn together. It was not my case. That was not for me. Didn't happen that way. I was told that I couldn't do a lot of things, and the things that I wanted to do and try and go out into the world and experience, like, felt like I was always held back. And I just got to the point where I just was finding any and every reason at all to not be home. So started that process. That process, so I filed in 2021, and it took until 2023 for the divorce to finally be done. And then, as of I think last week sometime, everything officially has been completely changed out of my former last name, which is phenomenal. Um, it was an identity. And while I was married, I even had this conversation. I was like, I don't want this last name anymore. Like, your family sucks. I don't feel like I'm a part of anything. Like, you feel like I felt like when I took on somebody's name, I felt like I was supposed to gain something. Was supposed to gain a community or a family or somebody that wanted me there, and that wasn't the case at all. Um, his sisters were awful, and his mother got even worse. So it just was like, instead of the support, it was just, it felt like ousted and hated and just. And then I called them out on their bullshit, and then I was the problem. So I was so excited to be able, like, and I even brought it up to him. I was like, hey, I can change my last name, and I think I want to. And then it got to be like a possessive thing where it was like, no, you're mine. And so you'll keep your last name. And then that just grew more angst of like, I'm not property. I don't want to be given away at a wedding. I'm not, I'm just not a piece of property. My last name felt like I was owned. Obviously there's a lot more shit to it, but so, it was June of 2023 that the divorce was finally done. From 21 to 23, it should not have taken that long, but somebody had some hurt feelings about wanting to be divorced. So that's how long it took. And it took a lot of money and a lot of time. And that's a long time for divorce to go on. Plus that's a long time to also not be able to heal, because you can't start your healing process in the middle of the divorce. Okay, actually, you can start you're not going to finish your healing process in the middle of the divorce, I guess is what I should have said. Because I started my healing process. I absolutely was good, and then it just, the happier that they see you, like, the worse the attacks get. It's awful. So I was happy, and that wasn't a good thing for the other person. So I didn't actually feel like I finished my healing process until this year. So the year after my divorce was final to the year after, things started to finally settle in my mind, started to actually heal. Like I'm good. I'm actually good. And I've lost a lot of friends in the process. I've lost a lot of family. Um, I haven't filled those positions either, which is kind of like it's freeing for me. That like it's freeing, but it's also like a little bit saddening at the same time because it's like, oh, your community's gone, but that's okay for me right now. And the new community that I decide to build or that we'll build will come and will be what will be. And that too, and like that's also part of the healing journey after divorce is like not letting people back in and then slowly learning how to let people back in, and then like you're just betrayed by so many people when you go through divorce. It's crazy. So yeah, just my community is different now. It's really, 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 really small. I would say it's probably less than 10, but that's okay. That is okay. So the year anniversary of my divorce being done, I went to the dealership and I bought this bad mamma jamma. Bad motor scooter, as my pastor would say. So it's a Yamaha R3 2024. This year would have been my 20th year married. So, and then, it's also my 1 year divorce, being divorced. Good stuff. So, yeah. I am now in a phenomenal supportive relationship. My fiance and I have a beautiful son he's 18 months old, almost 2. We have a blended family. We've got 5 kids total that we care for and love. And it's been awesome. It's been a wild ride. So we had a conversation just in bed one night, and I was like, we were doing like we normally do, right? You surf TikTok and everything. And I was surfing TikTok, and he was like, and I just mentioned, I think I was like, I would love to own a motorcycle. He was like, okay, why don't you? Like, what? You would let me own a motorcycle? He was like, I'm sorry, let you own this is weird, let you own a motorcycle? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, my ex owned 2, and I rode on the back of those 2 forever. But every time I showed interest in wanting to ride, it was like, oh, you're too short, or there was always an excuse of why I couldn't do it. Or even the, like, I'll take you to the dealerships and let's go sit on bikes so you can figure out what you want. Like, and that's what Jason did. He was like, loaded me up, and we spent 3 months looking. And then I went back and forth in my head, like, should I not? Should I do this? Should I not do this? And then went to the dealership, and there was this beautiful black bike sitting out front, and it had pink custom slide bars on it. It was gorgeous. I was like, I'm gonna drop whatever I ride because I'm a new rider. So I want that one. I sat on that one, and the dealership dicked me around pretty hard on even like being open about that bike, and that bike being like the numbers and everything. They just dig me around super hard on it. So I was like, is it because I'm a female rider, or you don't think I'm serious, or you don't think I have the money? Like, what is it that y'all are being so damn difficult for? But like, I digress. So I need to fix my helmet right there. Something's going on with it. And I don't have the most expensive helmet. I don't have the most expensive gear. You know why I don't have the most expensive gear? Because I'm a new rider. So I've been officially learning how to ride for 2 weeks. Yeah. I've only dropped it twice. Yeah, the first time was because I was in a parking lot and I thought I had put my kickstand down all the way. I didn't. It just wasn't even there. And then the other one was because I suck at like super tight, slow. I panicked. I put my foot down and I shouldn't, and that's like threw me off on what it is that I was supposed to be doing. And I was in a parking lot trying to turn into a spot, and I just bloop fell over. So super low rate of speed, if any speed at all. But it's still embarrassing. It still sucks. So the first mod that I did myself on the bike, I took the bike completely apart, took all the side panels apart on the side, and put in, I don't know if you can see these or not, but these are frame sliders. So they protect the frame of your bike, the plastics on your bike, everything, or your handlebars and stuff from being crushed when you do drop the bike. It's going to happen, whether somebody bumps into you, whether you don't put the kickstand out of the way, whether you are turning super slow. If you are a new rider, and even experienced riders drop their bikes, it happens. So that was the first thing that I did, is I put those on myself. That was cute, right? Like getting me to figure out how to take all that stuff off. But, yeah. So I was told that I couldn't, get a motorcycle. So we spent months at dealerships, sitting on bikes, testing out different brands, going to different dealerships, looking at numbers. I started following female riders, getting their opinions, and finding a bike for me that I feel like I can fit on, that I feel like I'm in control of weight wise, really hard. I sat on, I'm talking like Suzuki, Kawasaki. I sat on different levels of Yamahas. I did Harleys. I did CF Moto. I did a ton of them. And I was just like, I sat on the R3 at the dealership and I was like, okay, flat foot on one side, that's a good sign. And then I kind of did this test right here where I was like, okay, I feel like I can kind of swing it around a little bit. So then I just like sat it up and I was like, oh, both of my feet can touch on both sides, which is a big deal. And I'm going to show you why. So I'm 5 foot tall. I am not tall. I'm 5 foot. So for me to be able to have something that's narrow enough here that allows me to have more like a flat-footedness on either side of the bike was difficult. So when I sat on the Yamaha R3, I was like, this is it. And I sat on 3 of them that they had. They were all sitting together, and I picked the one in the middle after sitting on all of them. They had like slight different mods on all of them, but this is the one that felt like I was like, no, this is it. Well, so they tried to pull off a different one, and they were like, they just picked it like any R3. I was like, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the one in the middle. Like, you need to stop your paperwork and switch. This bike right here is my bike. So, yeah, it took some time to get it purchased and find the right one. And then I bought it the day of my 1 year marking of divorce, and it's been awesome. I've been learning to ride. I've been studying on my motorcycle safety courses, like all that good stuff. Selecting what mods to put on. Right now, I've got stuff ordered to wrap my helmet. I'm going to be adding pink to my bike. The jacket that I have is pink. My backpack that I have is pink. And the Jeep that I drive is pink. So blue and pink is going to look good together. And then wrap my helmet pink. That, and I think it really helps. It really helps just be seen, because like it's motorcycle, you just aren't seen driving around. Like, people run up the back of me. They want to try and pass me, like, while I'm in the same lane. It's like, no, I know that I'm going the speed limit, but like, just because I'm smaller than you doesn't mean that you don't have to obey the same traffic laws. Yeah. So, yes. I meant to chop all of this up into like shorter blog content, but I just got on here and started talking. It's been very therapeutic to have this. Yeah. I like it. So I'm going to stop here and check and see how long I've been talking for, and then start it up again.